Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben, the award-winning gardening podcast as voted for by the Grow Your Own magazine and by my followers and by my listeners. I hope that you have all clicked that subscribe button. If you're new to the podcast channel, please do click the subscribe button and then you get notified of all the new podcasts that get launched. And if you're not following me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and TikTok, make sure you look for Gardening with Ben and follow me on all my social medias. So sit back, relax, grab a brew and let's enjoy today's gardening podcast with Ben. Hello and welcome back to Gardening with Ben. We are at the weekend. It's Saturday. I had to think what day it was then. But welcome back to Gardening with Ben. If you have not checked out my other podcast channel, please do go and check that out. That's called Gardening and Allotment Tips. Yesterday we were talking about all the things that you can grow in a polytunnel and the sort of things that you can do in there as well. As I've got a polytunnel and I'm trying to make the most of it and grow as much stuff as possible in there. So make sure you head over and have a listen to that podcast. It's called Garden and Allotment Tips Podcast. There is a link in this description to that podcast channel for you to listen to. And more people seem to be listening to it. So thank you for those that are listening to it at the moment. So what have we been up to? Well, as I'm recording this on Friday, I have been on the plot today and it's been absolutely boiling, but we have got loads and loads done. And the main thing for this weekend, probably for a lot of people, is you'll be starting to pick your strawberries, and wow, they are turning red. Once they start turning red, you will be inundated with them all because they all seem to go in red at the same time. And the main thing about picking strawberries is that you need to keep on picking them as fast as possible as soon as they've turned red, because the quicker you pick them, the more fruit will produce on the plants and you'll get a bigger crop and lots more strawberries growing, because obviously they're not putting the energy into that strawberry anymore and they're putting the energy into growing the other ones. So if you wanted nice big strawberries, pick them as soon as they've turned red so that the others get a chance to grow as well. And obviously keep them well watered as well at this time of year, because obviously they do need the water to help them swell. But be careful obviously, because you don't want them to get soggy or damaged or mouldy, so just be careful where you're watering them as well. And yeah, obviously make sure you keep an eye out for the slugs as well, because they do like to nibble into the slugs, as I noticed quite a few holes in some of the strawberries that I was picking today, not just from my plot but from my dad's as well. I'm picking all these strawberries at the minute, so I'm enjoying them, and we both have got a fantastic crop of strawberries this year. So that is one thing at the moment, picking strawberries. Now obviously as well, I've been weeding. I'm always weeding, there's always plenty of weeding to do, but I have caught up with a lot of it now, and a lot of it is starting to look weed free. Obviously that is a job what I will do every couple of weeks and clear all the beds and get it all weeded, but it is looking pretty smart again now. And I've been concentrating today on my newest area, what I built earlier on in the year. It's quite a shaded area, but still a lot of weeds have been growing in it, mainly the sticky buds. They seem to be loving that area. Whether there's a lot of seeds around there, I don't know, but there's a lot of sticky buds growing. But they're so easy to get out, sticky buds, you can just pull them all out and they come out nice and easy. So we've been getting all them out and finding where all my herbs were planted, because they were just covered in the sticky buds as well. That seemed to have grown really fast and covered them really fast. But as I was doing it, I'm just thinking like I need to work on that area a bit more, as it's looking good. Yes, I'm really pleased with it and how it's turned out. For the amount of time that I spent on it, I spent a hell of a long time on it. I think I spent about a month developing that area, and it's my newest area this year, but there's still a lot of work what I want to do to it. Yes, we've got all the shrubs in, we've got us fuchsias in, we've got some geraniums in it, we've got us rhododendrons in it, we've got us azaleas in it. I spent quite a lot of money on plants in that area. Yes, a lot of them were reduced, but some of them I had to pay for full price because I wanted the nice plants. I bought some Hebes as well, and they look absolutely beautiful. They've not grown much, but hopefully over the next few years they'll start to grow really well and attract the bees as well. And that's one thing I need to mention. I was working in that area and I heard like a buzzing and I saw like a couple of bees, but then I looked a lot better and wow, there were loads of bees flying around. I couldn't believe how many bees there were flying around. So there must be a bee's nest around there because they were all going around the same area. So there must be a bee's nest around that area, which is fantastic. I love that. It's what I wanted from my plot. I want to attract the bees to my plot. If they want to have a nest somewhere, they can do that, because the more bees you get on your plot, the more they will pollinate the fruit and the more produce you will get. So that's what my job intention was for this year, to get more bees on the plot from the flowers that I've planted. And yes, I've cracked it. I'm so happy that I've managed to do it. So we've got the bees flying around. So yeah, so my thoughts on that area is that I'm wanting to make it pretty low maintenance, as like I said, I spent quite a bit of time today weeding around there. I'm just looking at ways that I can do it, so to grow stuff in that area to make it maintenance free, because I just want it as a nice flower area really, and a herb patch. So I'm going to be looking at, I'm obviously thinking getting my alpine area built, which I'm having black membrane down, wood chip down, and then I'm going to plant my alpines through it, so that will keep the weeds down in my new rockery area that I'm thinking about. But I'm also thinking about doing it for all my flower borders as well, about getting all black membrane put over my flower borders, dig up the plants, replant them, and put wood chip down as well, just so that it keeps the weeds down and I don't have to worry about that area whatsoever, because obviously I want to be concentrating on growing the fruit and vegetables. That's my aim, obviously, is to get the fruit and vegetable produce. Yes, I want the flowers for the bees, but I don't want to be spending much time looking after that area. I just want it to grow, and yes, I'll have to keep it watered and stuff like that, but the black membrane will keep it more moist and hopefully get the plants growing well and thriving well. Obviously I wouldn't have to put the black membrane down, I could put the wood chip down, but the wood chip will disintegrate eventually and the weeds will grow, and they usually do. It doesn't stop all the weeds, wood chip. So I'm thinking of that. Obviously I want to get my alpine area completed first. That is going to be July's challenge and task. I'm hoping to get all that area done in July and make that look smart. Yeah, the alpines won't grow much this year, they won't spread out that much, but obviously July will be a hot time hopefully, and hopefully they will grow a bit. If we keep them well watered, hopefully they'll start to spread and fill that area in. So that's my plan for July and over the next few months, to continue carrying on that area and to improve it a bit better. And I've got all my paths laid, I've got all black membrane down on my paths and stuff like that. Eventually I want it to be paving slabs over the top, the black membranes just to keep the weeds down for the time being, but I would like proper paths down. So that's over the next few years to get all my paths paved. But that's obviously, the more people that listen to this podcast, the more paving slabs I can purchase. Hint hint, keep it streaming through the night so that I'm earning money. If only all of you would do that. Just leave it streaming for one night, my podcasts, so that all them pennies would come in. But yeah, hopefully eventually it will all be paved and all the paths will be completed. But yeah, my allotment's pretty much in good shape at the moment. I've got all my beds made, I've got all the paths down, It's all looking how I want it to do. Yep, I've got some big shaded areas where stuff don't seem to grow that well, but I'm going to be having a word with the council and hopefully see if they can cut some of the stuff what's making it shaded back, and hopefully open it up to getting my allotment open again and getting the light back into it, because it is pretty much shaded, and when you're paying rent for an allotment you don't want much shade on the plot because you want your fruit and vegetables to grow as well. So I'm going to be looking into that as well. So yeah, we have got lots to get done this weekend. Well, Saturday actually, because I'm back on night shift tonight. Talking as if I'm recording this Saturday. I'm back on night shift on Saturday night, and I will not be doing much when I'm on night shifts. I'll be on night shifts for 4 shifts, so I'll not be doing much on the allotment. It'll be a case of waking up, going down to the allotment and getting it all watered, because if it's anything to go by today, it's absolutely boiling here in Sheffield. It's a really warm sunny day, and things will need watering, things will need giving a nice drink so that they grow and get healthy and get some great plants from them. So it's going to be a lot of watering, I think, this weekend, a lot of keeping things watered and getting it growing well. So if you're up to anything interesting this weekend, feel free to send me a message via Instagram. It's always good to hear from people that are listening. I've not had any messages for a while from listeners, so please do send me a message on Instagram and let me know what you think of these episodes and what you've been up to as well. It's always good to hear from my followers. So until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcasts. Thank you for listening to today's Gardening with Ben's podcast. I hope that you've enjoyed it. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do click that subscribe button, and feel free to share it as well on your Instagram stories. All you have to do if you're listening on Spotify is click the share button, and you can share it straight to your Instagram story for all your followers to listen to, and help build my listeners up as well and get more people listening to it. Feel free to check out all my social medias: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube and TikTok. Yes, I'm on TikTok. Go check it out. Check out my dancing. Gardening with Ben. And check out the link as well in the description of this podcast, where you can check out my gardening t-shirt shop, where I sell funny t-shirts with all different funny logos and designs on. And feel free to support me by purchasing one, and all the money obviously goes back into my allotment, where I can share more gardening tips with you all. So until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcast.